This is an inspiring true story of his indomitable will and courage. Lewis was very mischievous in his childhood. His parents, neighbors, and everyone around him were troubled by his misdeeds. Stealing, drinking alcohol, and smoking cigarettes had become his habits. Due to these actions, his father would often punish him and beat him a lot, but it had no significant effect on Lewis. However, Lewis' elder brother had full confidence in him. One day, a man, upset by some mischief that Lewis has been up to, chases them. Lewis starts running fast, and then his elder brother, who was practicing running in the field at that time, sees him running. Inspired by that incident, his brother encourages him to become a runner and starts practicing regularly. One day, Lewis says to his brother in despair, "I don't trust myself. I'm not like you or like others. I can't do this." At this, his brother encourages him and says, "What are you saying? I believe in you, and you can do this. Remember, if you can endure, you can also win. Don't give up. If you take it, your life will become useless, and you may even have to beg but if you work hard. One day you will win." Lewis started practicing after listening to his brother. Lewis takes part in a school race. Initially, he lags behind, but with his brother's inspiration, he runs fast and performs brilliantly. After this, with Lewis' hard work and his brother's help, his running ability improves rapidly. His brother accompanies him on the bicycle and constantly encourages him. Lewis grows up by working hard and starts participating in various competitions. In a race, Lewis runs so fast that he completes a mile in 4 minutes. This record was set for the first time in history by a high school student. Due to this achievement, he gets selected for the Olympics. When Lewis is leaving for the Olympics, he says to his brother, "You come with me." To this, his brother jokingly says, "You are not going to win." Lewis replies, "I know, but at the next Olympics I'll show everyone." His brother asks, "Tokyo?" Lewis says firmly, "Yes, at the Tokyo Olympics." Lewis's brother's parting words become the essence of his entire life journey. The price of a moment of pain is a lifetime of glory. There come such moments in life when a person is on the verge of breaking, but if he perseveres without giving up, his whole life can change. After this, Lewis leaves for the Olympics. He takes part in the 5,000-meter race in the Olympics. In the beginning, he lags far behind in every round, but in the last round, he runs so fast that he sets a world record. Never before had anyone completed the last round in such a short time. This Olympics took place in 1936. Lewis' dream was to participate in the next Olympics, which was to be held in Tokyo, Japan in 1940, and win medals for his country. But this dream remained unfulfilled because by that time, World War I had started, and the 1940 Olympics were cancelled. The story now jumps to 1943, when World War II was at its peak. At that time, there was an intense conflict going on between America and Japan. Lewis was now serving as a bombardier in the US Army. His team used to drop bombs on enemy posts. One day, his plane is badly damaged during a battle, and many of his comrades are injured. They try to make a comeback somehow. The condition of the aircraft is so bad that landing becomes extremely challenging. The pilot somehow lands the plane safely, and no one dies in the difficult landing. Lewis still continues to practice running. One day, he is running, and one of his friends is following in a jeep. Then some of his other friends come and say, "We have got a new responsibility this time. We have to go not to fight, but to rescue some people stranded in the sea." His entire team sets out on a search mission, but the condition of their plane is not good. Midway, the plane develops a technical fault, and he crashes into the sea. In this accident, all the members of the entire team are killed. Only 3 people survive, including Lewis. All 3 of them get into the rescue boats. They only have 2 lifeboats and some chocolates to eat and a little water. Lewis instructs the team, eat 1 piece of chocolate in the morning and 1 piece in the evening. No one will drink more than 2 sips of water a day. He says this because it was uncertain when someone would come to save them. In front of them stretches a bottomless ocean, with no end visible. Everyone sleeps at night, but when they wake up in the morning, a plane passes over them. They give signals by gunfire and by leaving colors in the water, but the plane cannot see them and flies away. Everyone gets disappointed by this incident. Then Lewis sees that the chocolate boxes are empty. In fact, one of his teammates, named Mac, had eaten all the chocolate in the night. Seeing this, Lewis becomes very angry. Mac says, "It doesn't matter," but Lewis answers him, "It makes a lot of difference." Now it has been a few days since they were stranded in the sea, and their condition is getting worse due to hunger and thirst because seawater is salty, drinking which makes them sick. Everyone is sitting in a silent boat. Then a huge bird comes and sits in their boat, and this bird can be food for them. If they miss this opportunity, they will not get this opportunity again. Lewis catches the bird with great caution. They eat it, but it is not digested, and everyone starts vomiting. Then one of the companions says that they can catch fish because they have bait. Using this bait, they start catching fish, and they start getting food. One night, when everyone is sleeping, there is a sudden storm in the sea. Everyone sees their life in danger. It is true that when death is near, the real value of life is understood. In this moment, Lewis says, "If you save me, God, I will dedicate my whole life to you." And they all survive the storm. Now they catch fish from the sea, but the question of drinking water remains. Then luck favors them, and it starts raining. They are very happy and get water to drink. They also store some water. Then they see a plane flying overhead. They signal that plane, but that plane is Japanese, and it opens fire on them. They jump into the sea and their lives are saved. However, one of their airboats gets damaged in this attack as the bullets make holes in their boat. They repair one boat, but the other one is completely destroyed. Now they have to accommodate all three in one boat, which is very difficult, because the size of the boat is very small. So far, it has been more than 35 days at sea. Mac can no longer bear the hunger, thirst, and mental stress, and he dies. Now only 2 people are left, but their condition is also very bad. Neither are they in a position to talk, nor to stand, because they have been at sea for 47 days. Then a Japanese ship sees them and captures them. Both of them are captured by Japanese soldiers. The Japanese send them to a camp, which is in the jungle. There Lewis recognizes them because he has a photo of the Olympics. Then both of them are sent to another camp in Tokyo, where there are many more prisoners like them. Watanabe, who is in charge of the camp, is very cruel, and he says, "You are an enemy of Japan, and you will be treated the same way as enemies." Then he looks at Lewis. Lewis looks him in the eyes, and he hits him hard, and then says, "Don't ever look me in the eyes." After this, all the prisoners are shown their sleeping places, which are extremely dirty and unhygienic. The next morning, everyone is called to the field, where their in-charge comes. He says, "There's a cook among you, who's from Australia, and is an Olympic athlete." Then he asks, "Who is an Olympic athlete?" Lewis raises his hand. In fact, she already knows that Lewis is an Olympic athlete. After this, he arranges a race between Lewis and one of his men. Lewis loses in this race and falls down after getting tired. After he falls, the in-charge beats him brutally with a stick. Not only this, he hates Lewis the most compared to other prisoners, as if he has a personal grudge against him. One day, Lewis and his friends see American and Japanese planes flying in the sky and discuss among themselves that the American planes are now very close. The same night, the in-charge again beats Lewis mercilessly. A few days later, some people from the radio station come and say to Lewis, "The American government is telling your family that you are no longer in this world. Would you like to tell them that you are alive?" Lewis goes with them and messages his family over the radio, "I'm alive and well." After this, they give him a paper and say, "Whatever is written on it about America, read it on the radio. We will not send you back to the camp and will give you a good life here." But Lewis flatly refuses and says, "What is written in it is not true. I will not read it." After his refusal, he is sent back to the camp. Upon returning to the camp, the in-charge ties both her hands behind her back and says, "You are strong, just like me. I saw it in your eyes from the very first day. I thought we could be good friends, but Japan's the enemy can never be my friend. You don't follow orders, you don't respect, but today, I will teach you to respect." He orders all the soldiers and prisoners present there to punch Lewis hard in the face. However, no one wants to punch Lewis in the face. He then grabs Lewis' friend and starts hitting him, saying, "If you don't punch him in the face, I'm going to keep punching him." Lewis sees all this and tells everyone, "Kill me." Then everyone punches Lewis in the face one by one. Due to so many punches, Lewis' condition becomes very bad, but his example of courage and stamina is esteemed by everyone present there. After this, there is a new upheaval in Lewis' life and the lives of the prisoners. News comes that the camp in charge has been promoted and transferred to some other place. All the prisoners are very happy with this news. One night, there is a terrible bombardment on the camp, due to which the entire camp is destroyed and burnt to ashes. The prisoners who survive are taken out from there and sent to another prison. As the prisoners stand in line, Lewis notices the new in charge of the camp. Seeing that beast, Lewis loses his senses, his legs begin to waver, and he is about to fall when one of his companions catches him. The man in charge appears before Lewis and says, "Why don't you look me in the eyes?" But Lewis avoids looking into her eyes. But still, he hits him hard on the head with a stick. From the next day onwards, all the prisoners are put to difficult and exhausting tasks. This time they have to load coal into boats. One day when Lewis is descending from a height at work, a Japanese soldier pushes him. Lewis falls down and seriously injures his leg. The work in this camp is so difficult that the condition of all the prisoners has deteriorated. One day, tired, Lewis tries to stop for a while and rest. At the same time, the same soldier who had pushed him catches Lewis and takes him to the in-charge. There is a lot of wood kept there. This is the scene that becomes the most memorable and impactful moment of this film. The man in charge says to Lewis, "Pick up this wood." The wood is very heavy, and Lewis, already weak, lifts it on his shoulders with great difficulty. Then the person in charge orders, "Lift it above the head." And the officer in charge orders, "If he drops wood, shoot him." Lewis stands holding the wood, but his condition worsens, and the wood slowly begins to fall. There is silence all around. All the prisoners and Japanese soldiers keep staring at Lewis. Then Lewis starts looking into the eyes of the person in charge. Gathering all the strength within him, he lifts the wood above his head. There is a sparkle of confidence and courage in his eyes. The man in charge yells, "Don't look into my eyes." But Lewis keeps looking straight into her eyes. Enraged, the in-charge comes running and starts beating Lewis with a stick, but Lewis' eyes still remain raised towards her. During this fight, Lewis remembers the moment when he was running. He remembers what his brother taught him. A moment's worth of pain is worth a lifetime's worth of glory. The in-charge beats him so badly that he himself becomes exhausted. Lewis is in such a bad condition that he can't even stand. He lies there the whole night, but there is no sign of defeat in his eyes. In that moment, Lewis overcame his fear and pain. One day, all the prisoners are gathered outside. An officer addresses them, saying, "The war is now nearing its end. Therefore, we invite you to bathe in our Hukura River." Hearing this, fear arises in the minds of the prisoners. Is this a trick? Will we be killed now? All the prisoners move towards the river with hesitant steps. As soon as they step into the river, suddenly their eyes turn towards the sky. An airplane is seen coming in the distance. As the plane gets closer, their heartbeats increase. Then his eyes light up. The plane belongs to his own country's military. This scene fills them with excitement and joy. They realize that the war is over and freedom is just around the corner. Food packets are dropped for them from airplanes. With hunger and tears of joy, all the prisoners eat the food and jump with joy. But meanwhile, Louis goes to the cabin in charge. There he is not found in charge. Only his stick with which he tortured Louis is visible. There hangs an old photograph of the in charge and his father on the wall, in which they are seen as children. It becomes clear that the person in charge has left the place. After this, Louis returns to his country. As soon as he takes his first step on the ground, he kisses his soil. Then he meets his parents and brother, and in those moments there is no limit to happiness. Louis gets married in 1947. After marriage, new happiness comes in their life in the form of son and daughter. Remember the moment when Louis was stranded at sea with his friends. In the dark of the night, surrounded by a storm, Louis prays to God, "If my life is spared, I will dedicate my life to your cause." And then he kept his word. Louis learned through his struggles and faith that the true purpose of life is not revenge, but forgiveness. With this faith, he returned to Japan and makes peace with all those who had captured and tortured him. But the person in charge, who tormented Louis the most, refuses to meet Louis. Louis' dream was to run in the Olympics to be held in Japan. However, the proposed Olympics in Japan in 1940 were cancelled due to World War II. But Louis did not let his dream die. At the age of 80, he ran across Japan carrying the Olympic torch, a symbol of his immense spirit and courage. This story is not just of Louis, but of every person who gives a new direction to his life by fighting struggles. If you want to see more such inspirational stories, then subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that the notification of new stories reaches you immediately.